What's up, guys? Julian here. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I want to show you guys my tank, and here it is. And I am really happy that it is a success. And what I want to talk about is the one thing I think is most important when it comes to success in a reef tank. And that is making sure your main tank is as clean as possible, man. Like, as clean as you can possibly make it, and that involves quarantining or getting a quarantine tank. I didn't know what that was. I had enough fun researching for this saltwater tank and how to set that up. That quarantine never really came up, and if it did, I kind of just ignored it. But it wasn't until I killed my 10th fish that I finally got smart and got a quarantine tank and started over. Basically, the only thing I had left in this main tank was a cleaner shrimp. It was pretty embarrassing, so we got rid of him, sent him back to the fish store, and bumped up the temperature on my main tank, lowered the salinity, and let it run with no life in it for 30 days, at least a month. And meanwhile, I was doing water changes twice a week, just to get rid of that ick, because it was terrible, man. One by one, my fish were gone. I think it may have been marine velvet, because it was pretty quick. And I was just an idiot. I did rush things, but I finally got smart, got that quarantine tank, and started over. Basically, in the first two fish, you can say from the new beginning, were these two Wyoming white clownfish that you see, and thank God they survived. They were the beginning of a new start from that quarantine tank that I got. So please invest in a quarantine tank. Medicate that. While this main tank was empty, I medicated it with cupramine for those 30 days, and was doing the same thing with this quarantine tank. I was lucky enough that this one was given to me. So I got a small heater, small filter, small power head. At first I had some PVC pipe in there, but as you can see, I got just one rock and some gravel in there. Now it is empty. Finally can get rid of it. I might just have it running, but all the 9 fish I wanted are in my main tank now. I can just kind of just rest and just enjoy. But definitely want to invest in a quarantine tank. This is just a 10-gallon. I medicated it with cupramine the first 10 days for those 2 clownfish. The next 20 days, while the main tank was cleaning up, I just let those clownfish chill, and then I added them in the main tank after that was clean and up to salinity, up to temp and all that. After that, I did the same thing with my 2 wrasses and the angelfish, and went through another 20-day cycle, 10 days of cupramine and 10 days of just hanging out. If I didn't see any issues, then I would add them into the main tank. Did it again for my 3 blue-green chromies. Did it again for all the other fish that I did. I basically ran them through the 20-day cycle here while doing water changes twice a week, to make sure if there is any parasites in there, I'm getting that out while they're in the stage of just laying around in the sand or whatnot. But anyway, definitely invest in a quarantine tank. That's my main point here, and it's definitely worth it. It may be a little costly, but if you have something in your tank already, then good luck. But I definitely needed the quarantine tank. It has saved my life, and I got lucky. It was given to me, but again, it's worth it in the end, and you're going to hear it over and over again. If you haven't got a quarantine tank, you're going to need it if you have issues in your tank. And that's about it. I also did the same thing with the coral. I got a 20-gallon tank and basically quarantined the coral I got, the frags, I should say. Dipped them, then quarantine again, dipped them again, and then added them into the main tank. And now I can just kind of finally rest and just take a look at it and just stare at my tank and watch things grow, because that's what they've been doing. Everything's happy. I'm happy.